danger zone that started at around 9 o'clock tonight, and now look at us here at 1 in the morning. We're still, on the air live covering with great concern. What word would you want to put out?
I think the most important thing is to evacuate if you have to. I think there's some people that want to stay home. They don't want to leave, but I think the most important thing is that everyone is safe and has somewhere to go. There are 2 evacuation centers at the Sylmar Recreation Center and Granada Hills Recreation Center. And at Hanson Dam, they are accepting horses, which this area is a equestrian area of the city. So I just want to really advocate and urge residents to leave the area and to stay safe. And also I want to thank again the first responders and firefighters that are out there really fighting this fire and making sure that we are all safe.
I'm also looking at one of your tweets, and the list that you put out there of things to take with you when you evacuate was quite extensive, and I'm thinking, my goodness, I need to go through my house and get these documents kind of more in a centralized place so I can grab them to go. But if you want to run down that list with me, I'll start with one thing you put. Obviously, driver's license, that's easy, but you had some more specifics. Can you talk about that?
Sure. I think when in an emergency, we don't think, a lot of times we don't have a lot of these documents in one location. And I think it's a reminder and to put these in one location so they could be easily grabbed and as you evacuate. And some of the things that I advised were, besides the driver's license, were a deed to your house, will and or trust, proof of insurance, passports, social security cards, birth certificate. These are things that if we store them together, maybe in a folder or in a box, we could easily grab when we need to. And, in an emergency, I'm sure people don't have this list prepared, but it just made me right now want to get all of these documents and make sure that I have them in a safe place so if I ever need to evacuate myself.
Well, I did a screen grab of your list because I like to think of myself as fairly progressive when it comes to survival kit and earthquake kit and kind of somewhat working on preparedness myself. But I know myself, I don't have these things together, so thank you for the reminder of the valuables that you would want to have should you perhaps lose everything and have to try to rebuild.
And thank you for staying up late and using your platform and your voice to put out some important information. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. And, my team and I are going to continue throughout the night and, of course, early in the morning, contact our state agencies in the early hours to see how they can help, especially what I'm thinking is the Department of Insurance. I think a lot of residents will be thinking of that in the next week for any valuables or any damage to their home. And I want to make sure that the insurance is responsive to them.
All right, Assemblywoman Luz Rivas.
We appreciate that, and we will be up late and up in the early morning as well with you. Some important information. Let's stay in touch. Mandatory evacuations have been ordered from Balboa Boulevard to Topanga Canyon Boulevard. This is north of the 118 freeway. Balboa Boulevard to Topanga Canyon Boulevard, north of the 118 freeway. So beware of that and heed that warning as well. We want to go now to Bill Malusian. He's been all over the place.